in Omaha and Lincoln. This is Compute This.
All righty, guys. Welcome into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with 3 locations to help you out when your computer's on the fritz: in Lincoln, 27th and Pine Lake Road; in Omaha, 168th and Burke; and also in Papillion, the newest location, the Baby Schrock, at 84th and Highway 370. That's its age, not its size. 866-496-8772. That's the number to join us on the program today. And you can call in to ask a question or make a comment, and we'll put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. There's a wide assortment of things that you could use that toward right now over at Schrock. But we have a lot of ground to cover today. I know a lot of us are, out and about and on our way places here. If you're hearing this on Easter Sunday, happy Easter. If you're hearing this the week after Easter Sunday, belated Easter to you. There's the Windows 10 Spring Creators Update that is coming out. Rumor has it that that's coming out on the 11th of April, but that's just rumor. No one knows for sure. We have the final week of the preventative maintenance checkup sale in full effect right now. So that's going on over at the service centers. It's a great time to bring those computers in if you want to come in for a checkup. Otherwise, you can always get a certificate from our website. So there's all that going on. And then in the middle of all that, because, there's nothing really happening during that time. Last week, my family decides that we're going to adopt a baby. Yay. Actually, I want to give you guys an update on that because you heard about it first, actually, on the if you're a Facebook user and you watched our Compute This. It wasn't really the live show because it was a pre-recorded show last week, but I went live on Facebook while I did the show, so there would be a Facebook version of the show available for those who wanted to watch. And basically, we got a call. If you missed the show last week, we got a call a little over a week ago, and we had basically a message that said, hey, your home study's completed, so there's a baby that's being born in California right now at the county hospital, and if you want to come pick him up, you're good to go. And of course, there's some logistics involved in doing that. There's agency fees and things like that. So you have to, it's not just, get on a plane, fly out and pick up your baby and everything's happy with the world. There's real world grown up things that have to happen to make all the people move and the lawyers do their stuff and people need retainers and checks and all that stuff. But we had 24 hours notice. Meanwhile, this poor little baby is just laying in the hospital with no one to take care of him. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience all the way around. By far, we went from for those of you who have ever adopted before or know someone who's adopted, you know that once you get your home study done, at that point you can start, looking for a birth mother who's considering placing her child for adoption. Well, this doesn't happen every day, so sometimes you wait a long time. With my daughter, we ended up having to actually renew our home study for a second year. And for those of you who don't know, a home study is basically where you go, a number of social workers come in and basically deem whether or not you're capable of being a parent or you should be a parent. And then once you're, USDA Prime approved, then you can go out and adopt a baby. And they ask you all kind of what's your parenting style going to be? All these questions that if you ask a new parent what their parenting style is going to be, like, well, we're going to talk through our problems with our children, you see? You're like, yeah, we're going to start by talking. And then let me see, what was it the other day? We were home and, my son is still getting adjusted. My, 12-year-old boy is getting adjusted to the idea of, he was the founder of the idea, right? But all of a sudden he's realizing, well, heck, I got to pitch in and help out now because, mom and dad we're trying to figure out the new routine. We have 5 people in our family instead of 4 now. There's a whole nother human being here. We can't just go back to the same systems the way they were before. And then there's diapers and there's formula. And then there's, we don't have a crib. We didn't expect a baby this quickly. Not that the baby sleeps in the crib in the beginning anyway. So we went all through everything. And my son was playing a video game and my wife asked him to do something and turn off your video game and do something. And he turned around and said, no, and went back to his game. Ooh, boy. If I'd have done that to my papa. Wow. Yeah, those were different times back then. So what's your parenting philosophy? Well, mine doesn't involve leather and belt loops. Okay. That's a step in the right direction, right? So then it was one of those things where, mom's like, I'm at my limit. You need to deal with it. So, all right. All right, so we go downstairs, walk over to the TV, reach down, grab the Xbox, pull it out of the entertainment center. In the middle of his game, pull the power plug out of the back, pull the HDMI cable out of the back, and walk away with it. Said, "You've lost this till after school on Monday." And you thought I cut off his arm. It was like, oh my gosh, it was tears and gnashing of teeth, and oh god, fine, I'm going away. And it's like, oh, those teenage years are coming. It's going to be good. So that's why we got another one. That way, if we screw this guy up, we're good to go. So no, I want to thank everybody for your prayers and everything that, and I'll try to put some pictures up on Facebook here during the commercial breaks. We'll see if I can't, I'm not exactly sure on the Facebook feed directly how to share that without actually uploading the pictures. So I'll get that all figured out for you during the break here. 866-496-8772. Those are the numbers to join us on the program. So as I mentioned, in the middle of everything that we had going on, we just decided that it's a good time to adopt a baby. For everybody else out there who is not adopting a baby right now, you got some stuff to worry about. We covered last week the Spring Creators Update is coming out from Microsoft here, possibly on the 11th. It comes out twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. This, as we've talked about before, is not they call it an update. We call it an upgrade because this is an entirely new version of Windows. This is the way Windows is being delivered to your computers now. Every time you get one of these big boy updates, that's a whole new version. It's like you went from Windows 95 to Windows 98, and that has different compatibility issues, programs that were not designed to work with Windows 10 to begin with, but maybe we Jimmy rigged them to work to Windows 10. You get a whole new version of Windows 10. The Jimmy rigging may not work, and we have to go back and look for other solutions for things. So there's all kinds of things that can happen here. We have about 20% of the computers of the people who install this are going to have their computers not reboot. They're going to have their computers reboot, but all their data is going to be gone. They're going to have a situation where the computer reboots, but something doesn't work right. Their mail program doesn't work, or some other piece of equipment that's critical for a business or a home operation isn't going to function. So you're going to have all these issues happen. So there's a couple different ways you can get this update. Number one, you cannot opt out of the update. You will get the update eventually. Of course, for those of you smart Alex out there, if you're a enterprise user or a Windows 10 professional user, you can delay the update by up to 30 days. That's a delay. You will get the update, but you can push it back up to 30 days. For the vast majority of us who use Windows 10 Home Edition, you can't delay it. You're going to get it automatically. It's going to take a little time. So if this does roll out on the 11th, which, guys, I mean, like I said, if you're hearing the show on Easter Sunday, the 11th is next Wednesday. If you're hearing this show the week after Easter on the 8th, that's 2 days from now. Okay, so it's a pretty big deal. Now, here's the thing. We have 22,000 customers in the Schrock database. If you all came in at the same time, and if let's just say 20% of people are going to have a problem with this update, right? Well, you do the math on that. That's 4,400 people coming into the service center because their Windows isn't working right within a month. That's a very difficult situation for us to provide good service in. Some of those people may just decide to buy a new computer. May just decide, hey, I'm done with this whole update thing. Something didn't work, so I'm just going to get rid of it now. They may decide to do that, and if they do, then that takes them out of the 4,400. But so let's just say conservatively 3,000 people coming in a month. Again, not a great service scenario. However, we know that if you install this update right, you can dramatically mitigate the probability of some kind of an issue. If you make sure that your hard drive is in good shape, if you make sure that your antivirus is good and not some junk like the new Malwarebytes antivirus junk. If you go through all those things and make sure that everything is working properly, you can actually mitigate the probability that something bad is going to happen when you do this update. With that said, there are still, even if you do everything right, there are still people who are going to end up in the service center because the update does something unknown, undesirable, unpredicted. Basically, this version of Windows has been out for about 30 days now among beta testers. That's a month. 1 month. In the last 30 days, they fixed 16 issues with this build that they didn't know about the month before. So there's going to be issues. There's going to need to be patches. Things are going to happen, right? The idea here is each successive upgrade that happens over time, everything should get a little more reliable and a little less flaky. We haven't gotten to that point yet. And so what Schrock has done is we created a product called the Safe Upgrade. Now, the Schrock Safe Upgrade is a program that what it's designed to do is make sure that all of those things that I mentioned are done so that your computer is in optimal condition to install this update. And then it downloads the Spring Creators Update, not from Microsoft servers, which are going to take like forever to download it, but we have our own Amazon server that we bought and paid for that we put the update on. We download that update to your local computer and install it from there. Once that's installed on your local computer, your computer will be updated. Now, here's the thing. There's two ways you can have Schrock do Safe Upgrade. Number one, and there's been a little confusion on this, so I want to make sure I explain this. Number one, you can come into the service center after the 11th. We already have people who are going to be out of town that week who are dropping their computers off saying, can you just hold on to it for me until then? And when it comes out, do the update. It's $80 for us to install the update for you. No fuss, no muss, $80, done and done. If you would rather do it yourself at home, you can save $30. It's only $50 if you go to our website at SchrockInnovations.com and buy one use of the Safe Upgrade software. You do have to buy one instance of Safe Upgrade for each computer you want to upgrade. It's one per computer, and we'll get to that in a second, why that's the case. If you bought the Fall Creators Update last year, that was for the Fall Creators Update that was issued last year. This new one is the Spring Creators Update that is going to be issued on or around the 11th of April. They are different. They are not interchangeable. If you didn't use your Fall Creators Update for whatever reason, you can't apply it to the Spring Creators Update because it's a whole different upgrade. Now, here's the reason we're messing with this at all. It seems to be the same people every time that get punched in the face. That come in and they're like, I'm so tired of Microsoft making me pay money, and they're opening their wallet and they're spending 2 hours of labor, which is like $220 to get us to fix their computer because the update jacks something up. And usually the fix isn't too terribly complicated, but the problem is we have to undo the whole upgrade, and then we have to fix whatever was wrong and then reapply the whole upgrade again. So it takes a lot of time. Bench time is money, basically. So that's unfortunately why it's so much labor. The problem is we don't have enough bench spots to service, 3,000 people. The Safe Upgrades products, we started with 1,000 of those. I know we're under 200 now available. And the reason we limit that to 1,000 is because when you buy a product from Schrock, whether you bring your computer in for work, like a replacement screen if it got cracked or something, like a physical piece of hardware, we're going to put a warranty on the part and the labor. If you come in and ask us to fix a computer problem that's a software-based problem, and you take the computer home and the next day the problem is back, you get to come back up to 30 days under an hour of warranty labor. We're going to warranty the work that we do because that's the right thing to do. We do quality work, we warranty it. The same thing applies when we install a Safe Upgrade. If we install the Windows 10 Spring Creators Update for 2018 and you take your computer home and nothing works, you're going to call warranty and we're going to take care of you on it. Now, if we have 1,000 people who buy the Safe Upgrade and we know 20% of those people are going to have a problem with the update, right? We know that's the case. And let's say that we can mitigate half of that because of our complex checks and proprietary stuff that we do to make sure that everything is good to go. So let's just say we can get that down to 10% of those 1,000 people. That's still 100 people that are going to have a problem that would require them to communicate with someone in the shop. If that's the case, you have a warranty now because you purchased a $50 product from Schrock to install that update. If that update won't install, you have a warranty. Now, if you buy the update and then you come into the store because you can't figure out how to get the update to run, and I'm not trying to be rude, trust me, you guys know me well enough. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here, but there are some people, literally, I've had people ask, complain that that Secure Updater doesn't work because they didn't install it after they bought it. And they say, I paid for it and nothing happened. You have to install it. And then something happens. Oh, it's like saying I bought a car, but I never picked it up. Where's my car? I never picked it up. Well, it's at the car lot. You have to go pick it up. Oh. And so if something, if you buy it online because you're trying to save the $30, which is totally what it's there for, and then you can't get it, you can't work it because you don't have the technical expertise to download it or install it. And like I said, I'm not insulting anyone here. You can come into the shop and then we'll charge you the $30 difference and we'll do it in the shop for you. So it's not a big deal. If you want to give it a whirl, I would encourage you to do so. So if you go to SchrockInnovations.com and you click on Shop and you go down to Software, you'll see the Schrock Safe Upgrade there. You need to have one for each computer. So if you have 3 computers at home, you need 3 copies, because you know darn well if you buy 1 copy, the one that you install it on using our stuff will work great, and the other 2 will blow up in your face, and you're going to say, gosh, I wish I would have bought that. The other thing that is nice is if you purchase the Schrock Safe upgrade, next time, like I said, this comes out twice a year, you do get some special discounts so that every time you repurchase, you do get a new version of the Schrock Safe upgrade. And you get it at a little bit of a discount. So there's a little bit of a membership benefit there if you continue to purchase them. But nevertheless, they're available on the website. We're running low, but we still have some there. While you are there, this is also the final week for the preventative maintenance checkup sale. So if you haven't purchased a preventative maintenance checkup certificate yet, that is something I would strongly encourage you to do while you're on the website. The reason being is, given the promotional schedule we have, guys, I don't think we're going to have time to do a second preventative maintenance sale this year. And I know, again, there's a lot of you who wait for that sale. So normally I don't like to have a situation where we have 2 products on sale at the same time. It's too complex. It's too much buy. It's not enough entertainment value. It's not enough explanation value. I don't like it. Unfortunately, we had to do that this time because we could have not done the preventative maintenance, or we could have not done Safe Upgrade, or we could not do Ultimate Upgrade next month, or this month now. I guess it is next month. My days are somewhat blended together, you might imagine by now. 866-496-8772. Oh, and then, just because that's not hard enough, let's throw a baby in there too. All right, let's jump into the phone. Actually, let's take our first break. I know Bonnie and Karen, you've been on the line there. We're going to take our first break, guys, but we're going to have more of the show coming up next, your calls, as well as let me recap for you what happened with this Facebook thing. The Analytica data breach thing that has everybody so up in arms. On one hand, it's a giant nothing burger, and on the other hand, you just got to shake your head because it's what we've been talking about on the show for years. But we're going to tell you exactly what's going on with it, so what you can expect to hear out of it coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute This Pro Tip 299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. 866-496-8772. The website we've been talking about all morning where you can go and get all the software-y, certificate-y things. It's SchrockInnovations.com. And one of the cool things about Schrock, the reason we are pushing everyone to start doing business with the website, number one, is it allows us to provide really great service. People who prefer to deal with the website can deal with the website, and people who prefer to deal with a human can still call the service center. They can make their purchases over the phone still, just like always, but we still hook it up into a Schrock account for you. The reason is, especially with Safe Upgrade, you have to go through a Schrock account because when it comes out, we don't know for sure it's going to come out on the 11th of April, right? So when it comes out, you're going to get an email and the status in your Schrock account will change. You can download the Safe Upgrade product right now from your Schrock account, but it won't run if you try to run it. But once that flag gets changed, you can run it. So basically, this is an opportunity for you to get that account established so that we can start collecting all kinds of data on you, just like Facebook. Oh, wait. Am I not supposed to say that? Oh, shit. I'm just a little sleep deprived. Sorry, guys. Sorry, data center guys. Yeah, what? Engagement is down? People are getting off? Oh, no, this is not good. No, I'm just kidding. We don't collect information like Facebook does. Nobody collects information like, well, maybe Google collects some information like Facebook, but that's about it. All right, as promised, let's jump into these phones. 866-496-8772. Bonnie, welcome to the show. How can I help you on Compute This?
Yes. Malwarebytes looked like it was from Secure Updater. I downloaded it. Two problems with it. One, and now it says your free trial is going to end in so many days.
Mm-hmm.
And another, it pops up on sites I've been going to for years saying this is identified as a bad site.
Yeah. Malwarebytes is making you, okay, Malwarebytes used to be a completely free program that was very handy at removing minor infection items, as well as viruses, but minor infection items that most antivirus products would overlook, specifically little things called PUPs, the potentially unwanted programs. Although like the coupon printer and all that garbage that gets installed on your computer seemingly, out of nowhere. Now Malwarebytes is trying to make the transition from a free utility program that was very popular to a paid antivirus product. The problem is, in my opinion, they don't have the chops to be antivirus. They just don't. In the Omaha Service Center last week, I had a computer in there on Friday that was scanned with Malwarebytes. Malwarebytes said it was completely clean. We turned around and scanned it with Super Anti-Spyware as well, which is another very widely respected free utility program scanning for malware, and we found boatloads of stuff. That's why we always scan with more than one program. We always double scan computers because one program very rarely finds everything. So first of all, my first thing is that pop-up is mondo annoying. It's so annoying that we actually went through the work of making a video on the do-it-yourself section on how to turn that pop-up off. Of course, once we put that out, it worked. It was very effective. They just changed the pop-up so it worked differently, and now it comes up every time you turn your computer on. Malwarebytes automatically loads and shows you the pop-up. So it is true that Secure Updater does update Malwarebytes. If you have Malwarebytes installed, you want to make sure it's up to date, and Secure Updater does that because Malwarebytes is still a popular free program with just there's a pay option to it. Now, on the other hand, if you want to get rid of the pop-up, you can get caught in a kind of a weird loop here where you uninstall Malwarebytes, and then Secure Updater says your version 0 of Malwarebytes is smaller than the current version of Malwarebytes. Therefore, we're going to reinstall Malwarebytes. And so you keep uninstalling it, and it just keeps coming back. And you're like, why is it coming back? So you can honestly uninstall it. As long as you have Semantic Endpoint, you're fine. Your computer is going to be fine. In fact, if you want to, I installed Malwarebytes for my computer because the pop-up got annoying. It was so annoying. So I uninstalled it, and I figured if I ever need Malwarebytes or if I ever suspect that my computer might be infected and Symantec isn't doing their job, I'll just install Malwarebytes and run an on-demand scan, and when I'm done, I'll uninstall it again. So if you go into your Secure Updater, you can actually uncheck Malwarebytes, and then you can uninstall it from the computer, and it won't come back. But at this point, when you first install Malwarebytes, it's really deceptively worded. You can opt to not do the trial, and that's what you would normally want to do, because basically if you opted into the trial, which is the default, if you just click next, finish, you would be opted into the trial, and you're running Malwarebytes in antivirus mode along with whatever other antivirus you're running, it's going to make your computer run a little bit slower.
Yeah, I thought as long as I had Secure Updater and whatever it is.
Yeah, the endpoint.
Yeah, endpoint, that I shouldn't need the other.
No, you shouldn't. And that's the thing.
Why.
We install it in the shop during maintenance checkups sometimes if we suspect something or we think something's going on, but we usually uninstall it when we're done because of those pop-ups. So you can uninstall it, but make sure you uncheck it in Secure Updater too. Otherwise, Secure Updater will very helpfully just keep reinstalling it for you.
So uncheck it in Secure Updater.
You got it.
Uninstall it. Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, Bonnie. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate your call this morning.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 866-496-8772. Really quickly, Karen, let's take your call next, coming up on Compute This. Karen, how can I help you today?
Oh, hi, Thor. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you as well.
I have a quick question concerning your preventative maintenance checkup.
Okay.
I have a computer that's about a year old, and it's kind of, I've noticed it's starting to lag, like when I write an email or something, so
Yeah.
I thought maybe I should take it in.
Okay.
I have some sensitive documents on it, some tax stuff, some work stuff, so I'm a little reluctant to just hand it over.
Yeah, I hear you.
What do you suggest?
Okay, so as far as the preventative maintenance checkup, we do have people who ask sometimes, can you come out on site and do those? The reason that we don't get very many takers is when we come on, we do on-site work. We'll send a technician to your home or your office, wherever you need us, basically. But we charge by the clock hour when we're on site. So it's $135 per hour that we're on site. If you bring it into the shop, we do the entire maintenance checkup process for you at a flat rate on special right now for $49.99. So if we come out on site, the hard drive scan alone will take at least an hour. The memory scan will take probably another hour. The malware scan, probably a third hour. So right now we're already up to $400 for your preventative maintenance checkup. So most people don't have us do them on site. Now I do understand that you do have some sensitive information on the computer. And people have asked us, we heard like Best Buy's Geek Squad was being paid by the FBI to rifle through people's computers and see if there was any kind of stuff there that needed to be reported. They were getting paid like finder's fees when they found criminal activity. We don't have time for that, especially during a maintenance checkup sale. The FBI has not approached us, not approached me anyway. Maybe, I don't know if they talk to my employees or whatever. I think I would hear about it. But no, I mean, honestly, if you bring that in and drop it off, we're going to scan the computer with commercially available products. But as far as going in and, let's take a look at the tax documents, my employees, they're number one, they're too young to understand how valuable that stuff is. Number two, they don't value their own privacy, so they don't really care about yours. They're not going to look because they don't care. It's sad. We're going to talk about that on the program with this Facebook thing, how kids have just been brought up now to not understand that privacy is important and that it has a role. So Karen, as far as that stuff goes, if you drop that off in the service center, we do have some customers that have us sign non-disclosure agreements. And so then if we have an NDA in place, we have one technician that works with that computer from start to finish who is assigned to that computer, who signs the NDA on that computer. And then that way we have a clear, almost an evidentiary chain of possession on the computer. And then once it's done, then it's powered off, put down, for pickup, and we call you to come get it. So that would probably be the best thing to do.
Well, it's not like I've got state secrets on it, but, I was wondering maybe if I erase the data on it, make sure I'm logged out of everything, dump the memory, dump the recycle it's not that I don't trust people or your technicians,
sure.
But I think it's smart to be careful in these situations. So would that also, you think, be good enough?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not going to run a data recovery on the computer. I mean, we could recover everything you try to delete. Unless you use BleachBit like Hillary, then it's wiped like with a cloth and stuff and it's gone.
Right.
But no, I mean, as far as that goes, if you want to put it on a flash drive, like move those documents to a flash drive until you get the computer back, that's perfectly acceptable too.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
All right. Hey, thank you, Karen. I appreciate your call today. All right. Got to take our bottom of the hour break. Stephanie, stay on the line. Your call is coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive.
Compute This Pro Tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News Radio, I'm Debbie Hanley. Pope Francis called for peace in a world marked by war and conflict. In his Easter message today, especially in Syria, the Middle East, the Korean Peninsula, and parts of Africa. The Trump administration may soon be changing the rules for cars.
If EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt gets his way, the president may soon sign off on an EPA draft proposal that could substantially roll back the Obama-era standards for gas emissions and fuel economy rules for cars.
Fox's John Decker. Villanova will face Michigan in the NCAA national title game.
Michigan overcame a 10-point deficit early in the second half to post its 14th consecutive win. The victory ended Loyola's first Final Four appearance since 1963.
Fox's Bob Mortale. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
This Easter will feature light to moderate snow showers early this morning, lingering into this afternoon. Expect higher totals of snow to fall mainly south of I-80. The metro cannot rule out a dusting for today as temperatures climb to 36 degrees. Tonight will cool off into the lower 20s as we could see those clouds break apart. Tomorrow, expect warmer temperatures, highs in the lower 40s. With Omaha's most accurate weather team, I'm 6 News meteorologist Peter Sherwood on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Halftime's over, and we're back for more Compute This. 866-496-8772. Apple is being slapped with a $12 million lawsuit. Happy Easter for the battery scandal in South Korea. Well, the battery scandal was everywhere, but this is just $12 million in just South Korea. Is it just me, or have a lot of tech firms been having a really bad month? So Apple, we talked about this on the show a few weeks back. What Apple was doing, so what Apple found was that if you had an iPhone, especially an older iPhone, like 2 or 3 generations old, the battery may not hold a charge like it did when it was a young, youthful battery. And as a result, it could cause your iPhone to randomly just turn off or to have other unexpected issues that would potentially damage the Apple brand by, making your iPhone seem, less reliable than every other battery-operated device that you ever had. So what Apple decided to do is to prevent that from happening. Over time, as the battery in the iPhone got older, they just slowed the phone down a little bit so that it didn't use so much battery power so quickly, and that would increase the stability of the phone greatly. It would also cause everyone with a 2-year-old phone or older to experience dramatic speed decreases in their phone to the point where buying a new phone became the only real alternative, because all your friends' phones operate super fast and all the new apps that are coming out run so slowly on your phone because they're assuming that not only do you have the latest hardware, but that it functions at full speed. And as a result, Apple actually sold more phones, this is what the lawsuit's saying. Apple did this to sell phones, to move units. And Apple denies that. They say we did this because of user experience. But we agree that we could have done it better. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for them to find some. They're calling it Battery Gate. I'm waiting for some memo to come out. But it's true. My daughter had we bought her a new, my 5-year-old daughter, we bought her a new iPod because the iPod that my son had when he was 5 years old, so it's a 6-year-old iPod, we gave it to her, and it was so slow that you'd tap on the screen just to play a song, and you'd have to wait like 6 seconds for it to choose to play the song. And there's no reason for that. Any MP3 player with no processor whatsoever in it can instantly play a song. Why is this one so slow? Apple was slowing it down. And my daughter's special needs, so when she's tapping on the screen, if it doesn't immediately work, all of a sudden it becomes a tap fest, and we get hands and all kinds of stuff involved there, tapping all over everything, and now all of a sudden we're in settings, and whatever happened, and we get the thing and it's all locked up. I'm like, what did you do? And, she doesn't know. Because she was just trying to play a song, 866-496-8772. So it's been a bad week for tech. Facebook. This whole Cambridge Analytica thing. We haven't really covered this on the show yet because it is so painfully simple what happened that this is not a scandal. I'm going to explain to you why everyone is so ticked off about this. And it comes down, let's see, 5 letters. What's 5 letters, starts with a T, and ends with a P? Trump. Yes, that's why it's a scandal. All right, so Cambridge Analytica was a company that does digital marketing on Facebook, right? They made an app called Your Digital Life, and 270,000 people downloaded this app. It was one of those, what would your career choice be? So think about that. Every time you see one of these quizzes on Facebook, like, what's your spirit guide? Or which house of Harry Potter would you fit into? Every time you take one of these quizzes, the entire purpose that somebody, especially the really good-looking ones, somebody spent a lot of money to make that. Why did somebody spend a lot of money to make a quiz that looks really, really fun, that has no ads and no monetization whatsoever? We all know that the kids in the underwear in the basement are all making viruses, right? I mean, they're not making free Facebook quizzes. They're making viruses, okay? So who made it and why? Companies like Cambridge Analytica make this. Because when you go in there to take the quiz, you give that quiz access to your Facebook data. And once you get 270,000 people to give you full wide-ranging access to Facebook data, your friends list, you take that 7 degrees of separation thing, all of a sudden you got 50 million people. And you can access all their information. Because if I can see your friends and I can see everything that you know about your friends, and your friends trusted you with that information, and you trusted me with access to that information, boo on you, by the way, then all of a sudden I have a whole pot of information. And you can help political candidates get elected. You can take this information and use it for micro-targeting. So now I know that you're a dog person, and these people over here are cat people because they post about dogs and cats and stuff. And I can, take a message about the ASPCA and direct that about how, this candidate or that candidate supports additional funding for the ASPCA. And I can target that message so it only goes to people who would respond to it. Or let's say you're a member of the NRA. And, this candidate wants to emphasize to people who own guns that they are pro-gun, and they want to emphasize to people who are afraid of guns that there should be sensible, common sense limits on guns. Okay? So in other words, they want to tell everybody what they want to hear. Facebook is an amazing tool to tell everybody exactly what they want to hear. Because you know what they want to hear. So you just craft a message. And the people who don't want to hear it, they never see it because you never leave your bubble on Facebook. When's the last time you purposefully sought someone out on Facebook to disagree with? If you're an NRA, yeehaw guy, when's the last time you went to go look at the PETA Facebook page to see how those tasty animals are doing? And if you're a PETA person who is very concerned about the health and welfare of animals, when is the last time you went to the NRA's page to check on the status of bump stocks? And no, that's not an investment, okay? But anyway, you get the idea. People don't venture out of their bubbles. They stay in their bubbles. And so you can send an ad to one group and send the exact opposite ad to another group, and neither group will ever see the other ad. And everybody thinks they're your friend. That's what Cambridge Analytica does. That's their business. That's how they make money. They did that for Trump's campaign. They helped Donald Trump get elected president by representing him on Facebook as to what people wanted him to be. But guess what? They did the same thing for Obama. Obama built this company with campaign money. This company was made for Barack Obama because his campaign was the first presidential campaign that ever leveraged Facebook. He wrote the book on how to run a Facebook campaign. It was legendary. He did an amazing job, and people learned from him. Cambridge Analytica is just a company. They will sell their services to any candidate who can pay. Well, Donald Trump can pay. So he did, and they did. And Facebook is sitting here holding the bag, and Facebook realized as Cambridge Analytica was doing this, they knew that they did it. They allowed it to happen for Obama. And then afterwards, they said, okay, Cambridge, brother, pal, thanks for all the help. You can't keep that data on all those people. You have to, delete it, okay? Hey, Mr. Zuck, we're cool, man. Yeah, we'll delete that data. Sure, fool. Yeah, you young idiot. We'll delete that data. No problem. No, trust me, buddy. It's Gandhi. The whole product base of my company, we'll just throw that away. Yeah, it didn't happen. Facebook's like, we're so sorry this happened. We shouldn't have trusted that this evil corporation would delete the data that they said they would delete without any verification whatsoever. And we're going to do a forensic analysis of every company who's accessed your data improperly, and we will notify every Facebook user if your information was accessed by a third-party company that you gave them permission to access, people. You gave these companies permission to look at your Facebook content, including all of your friends. So what Facebook is going to do is, let's say I'm your friend on Facebook, and I didn't take the Revlon hair color quiz. What's the best hair color for you? I didn't take that quiz, right? But you did. And as part of that, you gave that the company. I'm not saying Revlon did this. I'm just threw it out there. Whatever. Let's call them Bevlon, the Bevlon hair quiz. And you decided that you were going to take the quiz, and then you gave them access to all of your Facebook data, which gave them access to my information. So Facebook is going to notify me that the Bevlon company has my personal information. And I'm like, who is that? So as a user, I'm outraged because I never shared my information with the Bevlon company, but I shared my information with you. And you were an idiot, and you shared it with the Bevlon company. And Facebook can't be Facebook without the ability to share information about users between users, because that's what Facebook does. Now you can understand the situation and why Facebook stock has been tanking. 866-496-8772. It's a scandal. Let me tell you what. Privacy. Gosh, just have some privacy, man. All right. So, Stephanie, thank you for hanging on the line there. Let's go ahead and take your call. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Well, I have a question about Secure Updater.
All righty.
On two of my programs, the installed version number does not match the current version number.
Okay.
So shouldn't they match?
It depends. Now, the installed version number and the current version number, they should match in theory. Now, is the installed version higher or lower than the current version?
Actually, it's higher.
So the installed version is higher than the current version that's listed on Secure Updater.
Like on Google Chrome. It ends. The installed version ends in 181, and the current version ends in 162.
All right, let me take a look here.
And then LibreOffice is the other one. The installed version is higher.
Google Chrome 6503325, 6503325, and current version is 162. Installed version is 181. And it's possible that they could have released an update. When did you notice that number didn't match?
It's been several days.
Interesting.
And LibreOffice is the same way.
I go out of town for 1 week. 1 week.
When will you learn?
1 week. I know the exact person who's responsible for maintaining the software. In his defense, basically, we have one person. It's kind of crazy. We have one person that updates thousands of people's computers with Secure Updater, and basically that person, we had a transition in that role. Adam left the company and Mark took that over. So I'll find out from Mark why this isn't done. And Mark is listening to the show right now, I think. So I will find out. Watch, those version numbers will start changing all of a sudden. I'll find out what's going on there. If there was sometimes we don't update immediately if there's an issue. So for example, and if it was any other program besides Google Chrome, I would think that this is possible, but that's why I'm defaulting to like, something's not right here. But basically, if there is a situation where the current version of the program is having an issue, we may not push that out to users because then we get a ton of support calls because the new version is broken. But basically, that current version, the current version should always be equal the installed version should always be equal, or if something weird is going on, greater than the current version. So I will get that checked out here this afternoon and make sure that everything is in line on that. Thank you for letting me know about that.
Because my one question on this is, will this affect that the new program coming in?
Oh, no, it won't. In fact, basically what happened is Google Chrome's updater updated itself before Secure Updater did. And so that's why the version is higher. Most of the programs don't have internal updaters that work that well. The Google Chrome is one that works fabulously. We include it anyway because sometimes we actually Secure Updater will actually get the update out before your computer realizes it has a Chrome update. Most of the time, the Chrome one gets done first through Google, but it's there on Secure Updater in case it gets missed.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for the heads up, Stephanie. I appreciate it. All right. 866-496-8772. Taking our final break of the show. More coming up next on Compute This.
Drive Advisor is a free program from Schrock Innovations that monitors your hard drive's health and tells you if it's going bad. Download it for free at driveadvisor.com. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, folks, welcome into Compute This. Final segment, 866-496-8772. There will be a brief after Schrock after the show today, so if you have questions that don't necessarily fit into the program, you can always ask them during the after Schrock. That's going to be done on Facebook. We are live on Facebook right now, actually, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. If you would like to be notified when Schrock goes live, sometimes we do some things that are outside of the normal radio show. We go live, little extras and things like that. If you click that like button, become a fan of Schrock, basically then you'll get a notification when that pops up. We try to keep everything pretty chill. You know, we don't Facebook bomb you. We're not trying to drive traffic back to our website and monetize our Facebook traffic. You know, when there's a sale, we put a post up about the sale. When there's interesting news about like the Analytica thing, we'll put that up, stuff like that. I mean, stuff that you might actually be interested in, you'll see. If it doesn't go through the filter, like I said, here, let me tell you, here's the filter that was in place for the show today. So these are the stories you did not hear on the show today. The new privacy icon in iOS 11.3 does nothing to prevent password phishing. The privacy icon, password phishing. Password phishing is when someone tricks you into giving them your password. There's no icon in the world that can save you from being stupid. It is what it is. Medical imaging at the speed of light. Great. Under Armour reports 150 million MyFitnessPal accounts hacked. Well, if you have an Under Armour MyFitnessPal, then everybody knows how far you've run. So watch out for that one. How hackers are eroding America's confidence. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Android P is for poisoned platform. Yeah, there's that story there. There is something to that one. I read that story because I'm an Android fan, right? Well, basically, Oracle, who makes Java, is saying that Android, which is heavily based on Java, is illegally using Java without paying royalties to Oracle. And they're suing Google for that. And it literally could mean that every single company and every single user, any person who's ever built an app for Android ever and sold the app, so like every Angry Birds app, those people might owe, because their stuff's built on a Java platform base, they might owe a little bit of money to Oracle. And if you aggregate all that money together, this is a whole lot of money that Google may owe to Oracle. Now, Google is developing their own operating system that is going to eventually replace Android entirely on Android devices, and it's completely not Java-based. So they have a solution in place that if a judge came down and said, boom, you must stop using this, that they could replace it on the next-gen phone with a new operating system. But it's a little unclear how that would impact all the stuff developed for previous stuff. One of the nice things, though, about this new operating system that's years away, this is nothing. That's why I didn't cover it on the show at first. But the cool thing about it is that it'll run all programs. It'll run iOS apps. It'll run Android apps. It'll run Windows Phone apps. It's pretty nice, actually, because it'll be able to run all kinds of stuff. Imagine as an app developer how good that would be, that you don't have to make a different version of the app for every phone. So there's lots of stories that we don't really talk about. Local languages are crucial to success for tech outfits in India. Yeah. So if you want to ask questions about any of this during the Aftershock, that's what it's for. Galaxy Note 9 release date, new features, and everything we know so far. Okay, it's got a dual camera. Otherwise, it's pretty much an S8. Summary. So why Apple should fire Siri and hire Cortana. Ooh, it's a virtual chick slapdown, So, there's stuff that we don't cover during the show because it's pretty boring. So it doesn't get through the filter, right? Well, on Facebook, we have the same filter. And, we're not putting up, the Bevlon, surveys and things like that for you to take on Facebook and lose your personal data as well. All right, so while you are on the website, when you're taking a look around today, to summarize, we have the Schrock Safe upgrade on sale right now. It looks like the 11th of April, which, depending when you hear this program, is either next week or a few days away. We believe it's going to come out on the 11th of April. Right now, I don't know how many are left. I'll see if I can find out how many versions of Safe Upgrade are remaining on the website. But I know we started with 1,000. The reason we limit that is, heaven forbid something would go wrong with Safe Upgrade. It never happened before, but if something like that would happen, if we sell 10,000 copies of it, that becomes a problem that we can't internally service. We're creating a problem there. We don't want to create a problem. So basically, then, if on the other hand we limit it to 1,000 or so, if something goes terribly wrong, we can help 1,000 people. The Schrock Safe upgrade is $49.99. I'm clicking on it now to see how many we have. We have exactly 200 in stock right now. So if you want to pick one of those up, you can grab that over at SchrockInnovations.com. While you're on the website, make sure you also grab a preventative maintenance checkup certificate. This is the final week for that, guys. So when those certificates go offline, it's always, basically the certificate is always there. It's just the price changes. So when it goes off sale, it goes back up to the normal $89.99 price. And we have people who still buy it at $89.99. So don't make that mistake and think you're getting a great deal and then buy it for $89.99. You want to get it at the sale price. But you can pick up both of those. And please remember that you need one copy of Safe Upgrade for each computer you wish to upgrade. So if you've already purchased a version of Safe Upgrade, make sure you buy the right number of copies. Once you run it on one computer, it is tied to that computer. There won't be any passwords or codes or anything this time around at all. You won't have to put in your license key or anything like that because it ties directly to the computer. All right, today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate is Karen. Congratulations, Karen. You got yourself a $25 Schrock gift certificate. Christine will get that out to you on Monday. All right, have a happy Easter, folks. If it's the week after Easter, I hope you had a belated happy Easter. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the Aftershock. And if you would take a moment to share and like the program on Facebook or review us on Google, we really appreciate your reviews. It really helps us. It helps us stand out to new customers. All right, till next week, guys. We'll see you again next Sunday for another exciting edition of Compute This.
Nebraska's news, weather, and traffic station. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB Omaha, an iHeart radio station. On demand at KFAB.com.
Back on Russian soil, I'm Pam Puso, Fox News. More than half of the Russian diplomats expelled from the U.S. have arrived in Moscow. The rest are on the way. Russian